Hey y'all, you know the towns I go to never cease to amaze and surprise me. And today, where we are, is definitely no exception. Today we're in Opelika, Alabama, and I always try to work a church in somewhere in the video. Today we're going to start this video with a church. This is the First Baptist Church here in Opelika, and this is just such a stunning building. I had to start with it. Now this church goes it encompasses the entire block, but what a beautiful church. Just take that all in. Now I've been to Opelika many times over the past probably 12 years, I guess, but I've never been to the original part of town until today. There are a lot of beautiful buildings here. We're going to try to get in as many as we can in the time that we have. As always, we have these beautiful storefronts with these amazing tall doors and all the glass. It just gets better and better as we go. I walked down the block just a few minutes ago just to take a look and see what all there was, and it's pretty stunning. But check out those old windows that are boarded up there on top of that building. As I walk down this street, it reminds me somewhat of New Orleans with the way the balcony is up there. Let me show you this building right down here. This is Hudman Brothers, 1895, up at the top of that building. And I love that brickwork up at the top. I love the way that they have the design up there with the name and the date. This also is a beautiful building right next to it. Now this building on the corner really caught my eye. I love the way they have it painted. They painted the brick red and the design above the windows white, but the way it's made on the corner, those buildings always stand out to me, and they always just are so unique. The way they're built into the block. I just love that one, and that one's 3 stories tall. I don't know what it was before. Right now it's a law office. There's some music here, but this building's being renovated, but I did want to show, I don't want to get the music in here, I'm going to try to talk as much as I can, but I did want to show this. This is just amazing, fantastic to me. Look at the flowers and the steel work. The flowers, that's all steel. And they've just incorporated like a flower into the steel beam up at the top, and that continues on into the side here. They have speakers along the street, so I'm trying to avoid getting their music in here. But look at the entryway of that building. To me, that's just beautiful, and I love the way they have this one painted pink and white. That really makes it pop and stand out. The stonework around the entrance, I love that. There's a couple of big buildings I want to get into that are really, really quite beautiful. And that looks like that at one time was a bank. I would think that was a bank. I'm not sure what it was, but it's an amazing building, and I love it. But just look at this row of buildings on this block. I'm not sure the age of these buildings. I would say late 1800s on the majority of them. But down here is a couple that I really want to get the design of like the vents at the top. There again, has that New Orleans flair with the design up around those windows. Now these stand out to me. Y'all know I love vents, but it's just the way those are made are very, very unique. That is something else. And then too, these have incorporated some little designs underneath them. And then you've got the entryway that's typical of these small towns and old department stores and what have you. The massive doors, the huge windows, just beautiful. And we got a lot of people eating down there, and there's a lot of restaurants and what have you, so I'm not going to walk down that way. I'll get a shot across the street, and then I want to take a look at a couple of big buildings that are here that are really something else, and that will probably be about it for this video. we'll see. Roland's Thrift Store. I love that building right there and the way it's made. The old awning that's on it. Here again, gives a sense of, gives a feeling of being on Bourbon Street in New Orleans. It gives me that vibe. I don't know if it has was influenced by that architecture or not, but it just gives me that vibe. Z&Z Cigar Company. That's one of my guilty pleasures. I know it should not be, but a good cigar occasionally is my only vice. Maybe once a week, not very often, but I do love a good cigar. The Museum of East Alabama. Now, this town continues on and on and on, more than I realized. It's quite a huge downtown, the old downtown area. Like I said, I've been to Opelika many times, but never to this part of town. I did not even know this existed. It's the thing, you get out and look around a little bit and start checking out these towns, and you find things that you would not normally see. Now, this has to be the courthouse. Now, this has to be one of the most beautiful courthouses. I assume it's courthouse, but that is one of the most beautiful courthouses I think I have ever seen before. And then here on the square they have this beautiful fountain with a sitting area where you can come and relax and enjoy a nice, peaceful, quiet evening. It'd be kind of nice to jump in there right now. It's kind of hot, pretty hot today. View of some of the backs of some of these buildings. I really like to walk around behind the buildings and just see what they look like on the back. To me, sometimes the back side of buildings are just as interesting, more interesting than the front. And here's another little seating area. It'd be nice in the evening. There's no shade, but that goes direct line to the fountain. Beautiful courthouse in the background. It's pretty hot out here, but every time I turn around, I see another building that I want to try to get in, so I want to get another one. Opelika's pretty sprawling. It's pretty good size town, the actual town itself, because it's spread out into the newer areas. And Opelika and Auburn basically join each other. You can't tell where Opelika ends and Auburn begins, and vice versa. They kind of run into each other. So Auburn, Alabama, and Opelika, Alabama are two entirely different towns, but they kind of intermingle a little bit. And here's a shot of the back side of the courthouse, and like I said, that is one of the most beautiful. The way it's designed is one of the most beautiful courthouses I think I've ever seen. I've seen some really nice ones, but I think that one is the creme de la creme. I'll show you the beautiful blossom real quick. That's the same flower that was on the steelwork that I showed earlier. It's the same blossom. And I'll have to look up what kind of plant that is, but it's really beautiful. Another thing I really like about these towns is all the trees. Most of them have trees or azaleas or something planted along the sidewalks, and it's just beautifies it quite a bit. And it looks really, really nice. I'm not sure what that building is, but I did just want to get included in the video. I liked it, so if I like it, I want to put it in the video. So, don't know what it is, don't know anything about it, but it looks good. I showcased the First Baptist Church here in town, so I had to also include the First Methodist Church, which is an equally impressive building. And that's another one with the dome on the top. I love those stained glass windows. They are quite small in relation to the size of the building, but the columns are fantastic. The rounded wall, the breezeway, all of it is stunning. And then across the street we also have this building. We'll get this in here as well. Now here is a pretty busy street, so I'm not going to cross. I'm just going to try to get a shot in of these buildings. And right on down, as you can see, it goes right on down the block. It is quite an impressive town. It's beautiful. The old part of town is really something else, and I want to come back here when I have more time, like in the evening or weekend, and check out and see what all they have. Just exactly what all there is. Looks like there's some pretty good places to eat, some other things there I'd like to check out, and maybe y'all would like to come and take a look at Opelika, Alabama. And this is on South 8th Street is what runs through town. That's where I was, South 8th Street. But Opelika, if you just put Opelika in your GPS, it's not going to bring you to this part of town. It'll take you to the more modern by the interstate. I-85 runs right through here, and that's where you'll end up. But this is the old downtown area. Quite beautiful, quite amazing. And I really appreciate y'all taking a walk with me today. Like I said, this is brief. I'm sweating. It is so hot, and I apologize for that. But when it's around 100 degrees or close to it in the upper 90s, it's really, and you're doing all this walking, it's hard not to sweat a little bit. But I hope y'all enjoyed this brief look around Opelika. I would appreciate it if you consider subscribing. Leave me a like and a comment. And as always, I appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, I'm Red. Keep exploring. And thanks again. Y'all have a great day.